and Culo in the Dominican Republic. The dark place John goes to is metaphysics, the godless, cold realm. Close your eyes and try to pay attention to these poems because I love them. They're fantastic. Jon Curley.
Thank you, Chris. Fanny Howe, Emily Dickinson, Eileen Miles. From which state are those three poets from? Massachusetts, excellent. Yeah, I'm from Massachusetts. I've lived in Newark. I think we do have one Newark resident. Oh, okay, excellent. I'll read a few new works, including two pieces of that sequence that were at the Newark Museum. I guess it will be, you'd go into this room and there was a large screen, sense around sound, got 3D glasses, and then you'd hear a voice that it's attributed to Jon Curley, but it was actually Chris Leo. So that's probably the confusion. I've never actually done kind of poetry that is supposed to be in a public place, so this more public persona is, it's a new register for me. But I'll just read one piece from the Newark installation. Cosmopolis. Tectonics and architectonics built by brick, by iron, iron-bound, iron-boundless. 5 wards, 5 points of light, flares over factories, black faces, black facades, reflecting a love and light supreme, as the city dreams itself into itself. What was Moloch is becoming Mecca, panopticon into panorama. Amiri and me dig the speech in the street speech that reaches for the skyline to suffuse it with the jazz of a June moon and things to come, as they have. As memory is a monument and the future a foundation, and our statue is a statute, rock hard, rock ready, that will settle graces over parkland and city street, a broad street, or some south side projects as we project this here idea, this here city that broadcasts a message from our sponsors, ourselves, and we say, it's on, and it's out there, and it's right here. We've got the city, and the city has us. Secure relations connecting street to street, dot to dot, that person to this one. Newark has got us in its heart, in its jigsaw-toothed, heart-shaped figure, and, go figure, the city's an icon and revenant, a prophet and the past, a glowing set piece, no museum piece, of history and height, on the move and on the mark, its head in the clouds, in its heart in our midst. At dark, an angel with wings cast out in spanning space, with grace, with light, hind in foresight, crowding in the possibilities and the people. The possibilities are the people. Thanks. Death Valley. Silence absorbs the reach. The whiteness of these salt flats tends to emptiness. Sky scans, seeps into the great distance. Lie like the burdens of rock, christened into a furious rusk, breached into crystallized counterparts, glistening like mica. Be like the sense of this silence, itself unsure of itself. Now along the casual main grain we find perhaps the striations in the surface, forwarding a new face, whose sculpture is etched into a view salt-licked that embraces that desolate ground space as more likely than any other feature or future that the rain-soused mind could grow or imagine. We reel in the expanse and find masks discarded on the mountains. Gods of rock found eternal time to masquerade as the land they created here. Homage to their work is the etchings we leave as footprints, as lived markers, as signatures that express our silent appreciation of craft resembling nature. Oh, stop. Clap for this. Which I was very proud to purchase this T-shirt at the Strand bookstore. And then I saw an ad that Paige blah blah from Gossip Girl XOXO wears this on the show, and I felt a little bit crestfallen. Except at Monday nights at 9 o'clock, then I feel good. Okay, this is called Failed Faculties. Aspirin or hemlock? What is the remedy for the abscess of thought or the contagion located in our nodal night? Diseases are communicable. Consequently, we communicate only disease messages. Our current placards are plaque-ridden, and the broadcasts epistemologically cast us in uncharted immunological places. I'm infected. I've lost my choice. A pox in the language. The voice's virus eats away at the tongue which created the mind. I try to speak. No longer can I create networks to chisel gullets through which to pour words. The voice and its wires are gnarled. What can be written, as here recorded, is a voice unvoiced. Its thought diseased, disused. The remedies cannot be those voiced or written. I remain unmended, unmade. Silence breeds its progeny, the mutation of which might proliferate cells to bridge brain, mouth, and word. Healing would be a holiness, fusing sound and sense in triage, in language, in the fragile translation of sickness into health. For now, I await the cure and the analysis, the environmental catalyst for this condition, a gesture of the gestureless, out of the disquieted quiet. Okay, thanks. That's for the doc. I'm going to beat Chrissy by a year. This is not 1990, this is 1989. Blake in 1989. The walls fell. Most ceilings trembled. Foundations floundered. Some sundered. Some stayed the same. The firmament was still an umbrella. Under it reigned change. The watchtower became voyeur, yet its beacon still burned. Flies crowded to its beam. That 9-year-old girl in the crowd near the ramparts imagines herself a goddess, wandering through dead furnishings, new futurities. She wonders how the walls that fell could keep propped their fearful lies. I whisper phantoms in her ears. Okay, I'll read one more and then a few from the book, and then that'll be it. In 1801, the German poet Friedrich Hölderlin, and I feel badly, I feel like I'm back at punk rock shows, like, well, you know, there's a lot of oppression in the world, and this song's about oppression in the world. But in 1801, the German poet Friedrich Hölderlin went mad, and what they mean by that is still not so clear. If it was neurological or he was faking at madness because he, I guess, got involved with some sort of quasi-revolutionaries and was fearful that he'd be picked up by the police. So this, and he was, by the way, when he had this breakdown or sort of put on the mask, he was my age. So this is for Hölderlin. It's called Hölderlin Revivivus, an Anniversary. And wait, since this is about a mask, I should probably try to wear a mask. But all poets wear masks. No, I'll... This is serious. Hölderlin Revivivus. Divine shards of sense, or otherwise its equivalent, a masquerade to flout logic's appeal to indictment, to definition, the grief that grows in root and routes, the exilic mind, courier of apocalyptica, which the poem envelopes in the mind, which the mind envelopes in the poem, near and hard to grasp, the God. Hölderlin, I am now the age which you saw fit and saw you in fits for that ultimate abnegation of common nutrients and normative lifestyle. Was it a mad mood that made you immune, or a Hamlet face mask to play the loon, so as to be free of tyrannies, of the wavering Tubungan sun, or that variable weather sonnet exploding the little rooms in your head? I once asked the muse, and she replied, you will find it in the end. For all I know, you condense the fragile fibers in your head into a shrouded sense field, better to ponder the interrelations of all those historical and mythic marvels you wish to unite, redeem, constitute as a whole, a complex on which to balance the complex constituting yourself. I am still with questions, and I am